Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.
All right, people, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for tuning in to another one here on the coach's desk. This is where we take it from Chuck's side, and we have a very special guest with us for part two of our conversation that we had about a week ago. So we'll definitely be having a special talent, yes, in Kerron Stewart, multiple world championship medalist, also Olympic medalist, and listen, a plethora of medals over her illustrious career. All right, people, please remember to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we are going to kick it off. Thanks again for tuning in. And definitely, we have Kerron online in the waiting room already. So, welcome to everyone. Welcome to the people on Facebook. Welcome just about everyone. Please remember, like I said before, to share the link. Share the link. Yeah, man. Tell a friend to tell a friend about us that we're on. And we have one of the Jamaica's track and field legend in the building. You understand? So I'm going to bring her on and she's just going to, you know, we're just going to have a wonderful conversation with your interaction as well. You understand? So put your hands together again and welcome. Kerron Stewart, welcome. Welcome again.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, man. Thank you for joining us again. Definitely, we appreciate that. We had some challenges the back end of the last conversation that we were having, and I appreciate you obliging to be here with us again. You understand? So the two K's are here. Yeah, man. My first name starts with K now. Yes, man. And of course, Kerron Stewart. Kerron, how are you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm well.
That sounds good. And I would imagine that you're here and you'd have been having a wonderful day and you look fresh as usual. And we're looking forward to have this great conversation. Everybody in the comment, yes, they're bigging you up already, and they are welcoming you to the show. The last time we were talking, Karen, people watched that conversation and they loved it. And we were right at the point where we were talking about, you were elaborating on the whole grand scheme of thing that was happening where the uh, relay is concerned. Before we get into your coaching career and all of these things, just we would ask you just to continue that part of the conversation so that we can have a base to catapult from.
I don't even remember everything,
Well,
but
we were mentioning what happened over there in Bahamas and how the team could have been set up, the administration and what they have done over the years, and the little nuances that happen on the team where persons want to run here and they did not choose team over personal preference.
well, I am not a coach on the Jamaica team, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've lived the athlete side of things, and I definitely think we have the talent to do some great things in this sport, especially when it comes on to the relay. Because hands down, we know we have the talent. But as I was saying before, the athletes need to be honest. They need to speak up for themselves, and also the coaches need to be honest, as well, and just be fair, and be bold, and just stick to what you believe is right. And when we get to the senior level, I don't believe an athlete should be saying, hey, I can't run this leg. I mean, that's why we're here. We're practicing to see which leg is best suited, for each individual, that we can get the result that we need. But it should never be a thing that I can only run this leg. No, you're an adult. You're a professional, right? You can learn. If we try, and we're saying, okay, you know what, this leg is definitely not the best leg for you. So now let's figure out how to set this team so we can be successful. But as athletes, we can't be selfish, right? If you're not 100%, say you're not 100%. And you know that once you make the team, you're in the top six, then it's a possibility that you will run. But again, sometimes the athletes go to these championships with the mindset that I have to run, I am entitled to run. No, you're not entitled to run. um I think, based on fitness, um if you're showing good form throughout the season, after the trials you're still showing good form. And sometimes, honestly, the coaches have a difficult decision. And from an athlete standpoint, I think is not so much that the athletes are not selected to run, but in it is the manner in which the information is relayed to the athlete. Like, we're all adults. So if you have no intention in me running, just say it. It makes no sense to beat around the bush and to have this individual doing a million and one button passes when you know you have no intention in this person running the relay. So just be upfront so we can all respect each other. But if we are treating these adults like they're kids, then sometimes the backlash that they get, then I mean, you can't really say much, because again, we are not being upfront, and we are not being open and honest with the athletes, and it's vice versa. The athletes need to be honest as well, and open, and stop this nonsense about I can only run this leg, or I can only run this that leg. You're not in high school. You're not in high school anymore. You're a professional. So let's put our selfishness aside and say, I am available to run whichever leg you think is the best for the team, not for Kerron, but for Team Jamaica. Because the moment I put on that jersey to run the relay, Kerron Stewart is not on the front anymore. It's Jamaica. So I have to put that aside and say, you know what, what's best for the team. But again, not everybody is mature enough to have that discussion. So
Yeah, you're right. And do you think that it should only be hinged on top six running, or you should always have like persons who might be considered relay specialists to be a part of the setup?
yes, because you have some guys who run the 200 that don't run the 100, but they'll give you a good leg. Yes, I think they should be considered. Again, I don't think anybody should have the mindset that I am entitled to run on the relay because I came third in the 100 at the trials, or I came second in the 100 at the trials. If it's an individual race, then you say top three, stand by your word, allow the top three at the trials to run. But when it comes on to the relays, no, it's about fitness. It's about who is ready, and who wants to run. Because if I am the relay coach and we're having button pass practice, we're having practice, and you're saying this is the only leg that I can run, okay, then I guess I have a decision to make. I'm going to find somebody else who is willing to run, because for me that's a no no.
Okay. I mean, we see where US, which is one of our biggest rival, they have been having a lot of relay. I would call it clinics because they move different areas, assembling different teams, and you from time to time you see people running different legs. They might be on the second leg, then they see them on the third leg, and they are mixing up the teams. I am wondering, when are we going to, as a country who basically one of the top track and field nations in the world, when are we going to do something like this? Will it ever happen, by the way? Because trust me,
You
I
see,
think a lot of ego involved in it, you know.
what US is doing is called preparation. You don't chemistry don't just build overnight. Like, if we were talking about, you know what, we have these four ladies, they have been running in high school for 4 years, and every year they run this relay the same way, and they have been getting great results. If we have that on the Jamaica team, then we could say, okay, we don't have to practice that much, we don't have to do this that much, because these girls have been running together for 4 years. And the in my career, like running for Jamaica on the professional senior level, um every year I could say, okay, myself is on the team, Shellyan is on the team, Veronica is on the team, Sharon is on the team. I have run a lot of relays with those three ladies.
We're not hearing you. Karen, we're not hearing you. Hello? We're not hearing you. Or if you're on your phone and you get a call, your sound is going to be cut off. So can you just log off and join us back? Once you get a call, there's not going to be any sound. Just log off and come back. All right. So once Karen sorts that out, people, then she'll definitely be back. We appreciate her being here. Big up to all the people in the comment section. Yeah, man. People, remember to share the live. Share so that more persons know that we're over here. So me I try to use the rhyming words. Big up to Dr. Dan, Anita, Ocean Black, Paul Watkins, Karen Golob. Is that pronounced correctly? Mike C. Wagwan. Big up yourself, you know. Brian too. Rachel. Track Universe. Charm Green. Who else in here? Fresh God. Capo in the building. Wagwan Capo. Big up yourself. Pristine. Wagwan. Real A. And that is a Rogine. Big up yourself. Yeah, man. So people, I want you to line up your questions. Don't put the questions yet, because you know the chat room is going to be up and running, and we might not be able to what you call it now, read all of your questions, because it probably gone past and you might have say, yo, what go on. But yeah. Opinion in the building, big up yourself. ML Shaw, what go on, welcome. Great one, big up. Toffee Rude in the building. Yeah, man. Alright, so alright, welcome back, Karen. Yes.
Yeah, a call was coming in, so I think that got it.
Yeah. Once the call comes in and you don't answer the call, it will take away the sound.
Ah,
Alright.
okay.
Alright, so yes, you were, where were you? You would have run with those ladies and had some sort of chemistry.
And the thing is, you have to run together, right, to see
Mm-hmm.
what works. And US is preparing to win, to dominate. It's almost like
Mm-hmm.
we are just running to compete, and that shouldn't be the case, man. Every time we step on the track, it should be battle. Like it shouldn't be just we just showing up, and we have the talent. We have the talent. So I think the coaches and the athletes have to be on one accord for this to work.
Definitely. Definitely. All right. So, um, questions will be coming later on that particular topic, but
For
I
sure.
want to get through some more stuff and get into your coaching career, where you are now and what you're doing. But before we segue into that, um, you were signed to a company. Was it Nike or Adidas?
Nike.
Right, you were signed to Nike. Now, the question that most persons would like to know, for a professional athlete, two things.
Okay.
Um, do they actually tell you that you have to compete at a particular event or various events that you have to compete? And do they actually dictate in terms of who you have as your coach? Those are the two questions that I'd want to have some answers for.
Who you have as your coach?
Mm-hmm.
I can't honestly speak on that because that was never an issue for me. I chose my coach. I stuck with my coach. Um, as far as where there are some meets that are in your contract that you have to run. When I was running, Penn Relays was one of those meets. Prefontaine was one, and another Nike meet that I had to run. And
And
if I miss Penn Relays, then I'll have to make up another one. But I've here where athletes said, okay, if I'm with Nike, I have to train with this coach, or Adidas, you have to train with this Adidas coach. But for me, that was never an issue.
okay. All right, so we'd have clarity on that from your perspective.
Mhm.
All right, but yes, we definitely would have heard persons said that before, that they have to train a particular place or with a particular coach, and so you would have basically also answered the question. Yes, there are some meets that depending on whoever sponsor you,
Mhm.
you have to be.
Yeah, your mic is on mute.
Oh, my bad.
Mm.
Sorry about that. Yes, so let's segue into your coaching career. We spoke about in the last interview where you talked about what you transitioned into. You started out with soccer,
Mhm.
but what really pushed you to go into coaching? What was that drive? What did you see? What was that epiphany? What was that moment that, that say, all right, this is what I want to do?
I knew I wanted to coach since I was in high school,
Wow.
and this is how it happened. I remember one, I think Christmas break. Our high school coach, he left for a few weeks, and the students, well, we were there and wasn't sure the workouts that we were supposed to do. And so after 2 days, we kept showing up. There was nothing. I was like, yo, I'm gonna put something together. We gonna work out, because I'm not coming here another day and not do something. And I was just putting workouts together, and everybody was doing the workout, and that's when it kind of clicked that I really love this. I love helping, and seeing, people benefit from that help, and it changed. But I also knew that I had a talent, and I was gonna see how far this talent could take me before I venture into coaching, and I felt like being an athlete was going to help me to become a better coach, because coaching now, like, just, it's believable, like they believe. When I say to them, hey, I know what it feels like to be nervous, I know what it feels like to be underlined, I know what it feels like, I'm putting in work and it's just not showing, it's not showing up in the results. Like, I'm not just saying that, I know, I lived it, I know what it feels like. So it just makes coaching um a little easier to communicate with the athletes, because a lot of them are trying to get to the level that I was. They're trying to achieve some of the things that I achieve. And it's almost like they have the blueprint in front of them, right, of how to get there. So I would say, you know, living the athlete life dream, definitely help, or is helping me now, as a coach in a lot of aspects.
Okay, that's good. Is there a particular coach that you would have, or coaches that you'd have drawn inspiration from, that you would have brought over to your style of coaching as you venture into that?
Yes. Of course, coaches like my coach, Coach Henry. A lot of things I learned from him, especially just the empathy side. Just seeing your athlete not just as an athlete but as a person. I learned a lot of that from him, and just how to be believable and honest to your athletes. Coach like Glenn Mills, of course, Stephen Francis, um, Pat Henry, Coach Anderson. Yeah, a whole lot, a whole lot of coaches that I look up to. I am inspired, by what they have accomplished, and how they go about inspiring their athletes and to get the best out of them.
Okay, awesome. And definitely, you listed a few of these coaches. So, with those top names that you listed, Karen,
Hmm.
and you put in all of those philosophies together, coupled with your experience of being on the circuit, being in the sports for several years, then are we expecting another super coach, especially on the female side?
Um, the I look up to those coaches, but my thing is, I also, it's more of my relationship with God. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
don't just, I know some people just see some coach's philosophy and say, yeah, I'm going to take this. Nope, not me. At the end of the day, I have to learn my athletes and see what works
Mm-hmm.
best for them,
Right.
not to just push somebody else's philosophy on them, or even what worked for me, because what worked for me may not work for them. But I always want God to lead me as to what to do. Like, I put the plan before him, and I say, God, this is it. Help me change what I need to change, what I need to fix. That's more so how I he has the final say, not somebody else's philosophy, or their beliefs, or you know no, not it's not just like that. But yes, I am inspired by those coaches, of course.
Okay, but with those inspiration, you still seek inspiration from the higher power, and also an inner inspiration which comes from you as well. So that is good. But Karen, this is coaching can be considered a male dominated field,
Mm-hmm.
and you know we have female coaches around,
Mm-hmm.
I can probably think of one right now. Lassina Golden. She's doing pretty well, and she's a former Jamaican athlete as well. How do you see yourself rising in this male dominated field? Do you think that they are going to, trust you as a female coach, or they're pretty much giving you a pass because you would have been there and done that as an athlete?
Uh, Pass. I don't see that. Um, Before I start coaching, I remember I probably sent out over 100 and something my resume,
Wow.
and maybe got a few respond. Some was kind enough to say there's no vacancy.
Yeah.
So no, it's not a pass. And I don't mind working my way up. I don't know nothing else other than hard work. So I have no issue with working my way up, and I'm not necessarily trying to prove myself to anybody, but just to make sure that God is pleased with what I am doing, and I am always seeking and ensuring that I give my very best, and to make sure that every athlete that I have the honor and privilege to mentor and to coach, to make sure that they leave being a better individual and a better athlete. That's it. That's all I want. I don't want to prove anything to anybody. I am not trying to um, be in this mix of who is dominating what and who is
Hmm.
that is not my concern. I want, first and foremost, God to be pleased with the work that I am doing, and for people's life to be changed by what God has put in me.
Okay, that sounds very, very, very inspirational. And yeah, I like it. Definitely I like it. Yeah, because sometimes in coaching you have to have this level of discernment, where you can actually see what the athlete is going through, and if you can reach them outside of just being the coach, like you said earlier, then it is very, very useful. So I like that. Um, First day on the job as a coach in track and field, and which institution, and tell us that experience, or what was it like?
My first coaching job was at Buena Vista University in Iowa. Um, it was challenging in the sense that there is so much that goes on outside of just coaching. You have the admin stuff to do, the paperwork, all of that other stuff that you have to do, the recruiting side of it. That there is so much that goes into it, and I had to adjust. I had to learn a lot, so I had to hit the ground running. Um, of course, because of the title, the name, a lot is expected, because now you go into a program, now people are expecting, oh, you're going to build some Olympians and all of that. And I'm like, hey, it takes time. And I also had to be patient with myself and say, you know what, you're doing the best that you can do, and you just have to be okay with that. But there was a lot of challenges, but again, I like a challenge, and it allows me to step outside of my comfort zone. Like, I I didn't know I was capable of handling, certain pressure, handling, just the day-to-day task that comes along with being a coach. Like, I had to take on the role of not just a coach, but now that parent figure. And when you step into that parent role now, things become even more um, difficult and hectic. But I would do it all over again, because and that's why I believe you have to love what you do. It can't just be for a paycheck. A paycheck is
Yeah.
added incentive, you know.
Okay.
But
Yeah, yeah.
you truly have to love this. You really have to.
All right. So you were there, that happened. What are the events that you coach? Are you one of those field type of coaches, or are you sprints, or are you middle long distance? Tell us about that. We know
Sprint,
you're a sprinter, so
sprints and hurdles, and I think
okay.
one of the thing that was difficult for me at the beginning too was when you're thinking about I am with like 20 kids. It's just one Kerron, and I like to teach. Right, I'm
Mm-hmm.
coach who is just gonna say, "Hey, this is a workout. Go do it." I like to correct. I see things like I can't ignore you doing a drill incorrectly or just um idling your way through the drill. No, I can't do it. Nope. I'm a very technical coach, so I had to be with 20 kids at the same time. Trying to make sure that everybody lived with me, touching them in terms of like making sure that okay, you learned something, I correct something that you didn't just come to practice and leave practice
Mm-hmm.
like okay, we just ran today. No, I want you to learn something. That's why you're there. So that was difficult for me at times when it was just so much kids, and I really couldn't give them that individualized attention that some of them may have needed. So
Okay.
those stuff kind of um, sat heavy with me some days, like when I left practice, or especially sometimes when you see them compete and they're not living up to that expectation or what you believe that they are capable of doing, and you're like, okay, only if I could just spend a little more time with them, but I know I can't because I have 20 athletes
Yeah.
to help and to focus on. So that part of it at first was difficult, but I I got through that.
Okay, awesome. So tell us about what you'd have accomplished so far in terms of whatever you're coaching, or the sprints and the sprint hurdles.
So at BV, I remember we came fourth indoors, and over a 10 year or 8 years, they have never come in the top five. So that
Wow.
was in just 1 year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
that was a big accomplishment for the team. And outdoors, I think we came third. So
Okay.
that that was big. Not coming in the top five in 8 years to being in the top five, top three in just a year. I think that was a big accomplishment for the team.
Okay, that's awesome. And are you still at this said institution now, or you moved on?
I'm at Aspire Academy um,
Okay.
in Ohio, which is a high school here. So it's similar to IMG.
Okay, okay, okay. All right. And is the season still happening, or you're on a break now, or
No,
what's happening?
no, the season is still going. We are preparing for nationals now. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
so at Carifta, under 17, she came second in the hurdles. In the 400-meter hurdles, under 17 again, she placed third. So coaching athletes who are winning medals at Carifta, that's like big for me,
Okay.
because I remember like I was once there competing with
Mm-hmm.
medals. So that that's really
You
big
you,
as well.
you think you get the respect from the athletes, the student athletes that you interact with, based off how they relate to you, how they uh gravitate to the information given.
Yes, and I can say I have a really good group of athletes, and they respect me because I respect them, and it's a leading by example. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't just expect them to show up at practice early, and I am showing up late. I don't expect them to be at practice and not be on their phones, but I am on my phone. So it's a lead by example
Okay.
type of mentality and philosophy that I have, and I don't have an issue with respect with my athletes. And I know sometimes people are like, "You're so soft spoken," like how you get them to listen. And I am like, these kids are truly motivated, and I feel like when they recognize, like when they are in the presence of somebody who is genuinely trying to help them, they are sponge. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm blessed and fortunate in
Yeah.
that I have a group of kids who are truly motivated. Yes, some days, I mean, I'm getting gray hairs, but it's a part of it. It's
I
a part of it because they're growing, and you're teaching them, right, to unlearn some stuff and to learn things. So
mm-hmm.
you have to be patient with them.
I heard you talk about the gray. You're very soft spoken now. Is there ever a time? Cause I know the coaching thing gonna Karen. Sometimes you have to dip on the top of your voice. So I wonder if they at all times get this soft spoken Karen.
No, definitely not. But it's not every day that I have to be stern for them to listen. But yes, sometimes I have to go there. But I think it's just a different. I am a different person when I am in practice than now. I'm more laid back. But of course, sometimes I have to be like, I have to repeat myself more than once, and then once I have to repeat myself more than once, then they know, okay, coach is about to get serious now.
Mm-hmm.
So they pull it together. But of course, you're coaching kids, so their tension span is only for so long. So you can't make it too long. uh
Mm-hmm.
can't say too much words. You just have to get to the point, right? But again, this is why you have to love what you do, because some
Yeah.
days you really you really want to go off, but you have to remember. And the good thing too, I remember when my coach used to have to tell me something more than once, 10 times, 15 times.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of helps me to, hey, say be patient. Remember, you were once them.
Yes, yes.
Be patient with them.
All right, that sounds good. Yes. The one attribute of a coach is that you have to be patient.
Hmm.
Even sometimes when outsiders look and I say, why you keep trying with this individual when they are not seeing what you are seeing as the experience and uh, learned individual. So yeah, man, that's one thing that comes from you being a coach, patient. But let me ask you this, Karen. Um, from a coaching perspective,
Hmm.
who do you blame in this situation? People will come into to the questions in the comment section. If you wrote a question probably 10 minutes ago, please send it in the chat because I'm not going to be scrolling to find those questions. So, yes, Karen. You're at the high school level now, right? You get a student who is probably coming from middle school, and that person was dubbed as a bright one, in terms of advancement in the sport, running very good times, right? And then you get the child, but when you get the child, whether male or female, you realize that first year they do well, second year they kind of, not working so well, and as they continue, and the progress or the expectation that they came to the institution with, it was the ceiling was very high.
Mm-hmm.
Do you consider the coach the main, or do you blame the coach for that that student athlete not advancing? Or, well, let me hear what you say.
No. Um, there's the first thing we tend to do is we start blaming,
Mm-hmm.
right? Instead of saying, okay, why is this athlete not progressing, right? And we will have this thing where we're always going to be at 100%. We're always going to doing well. Every year you're supposed to run a personal best. No, right? We only look at growth, or we only measure growth based on
Mm-hmm.
result,
Yeah.
right? We don't look at some things like, all right, you know what? Last year this athlete couldn't handle pressure, but this year the athlete is handling pressure a lot better, but yet we're not getting the fast times. So we're not truly allowing the athletes space to develop, space to say, you know what, this year wasn't a good year, but let's move forward and see how we can get better. Because this is life, right? We're gonna have challenges, we're gonna have setbacks. That don't mean something is wrong with you. That don't mean that somebody is not doing something good. But
Mm-hmm.
we first have to do an assessment, even as a coach.
Yes, yes.
When my athletes don't do as well as I think they should, I have to go back. I have to go back throughout the week and say, okay, what did we do leading up to the meet?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I have to go back and check my workout and say, okay, was it a heavy week? Was the load too heavy? All right, I have to go back and check the weights. I probably have to go talk with the performance coach and say, all right,
Mm-hmm.
let's see what they did, right? And if I can see where I went wrong, for them to have this performance, I have to now have a conversation with them. I have to be like, okay, were you resting, right? What was happening outside of training, outside of your sport? Why
Mm-hmm.
this is happening? And sometimes we don't take the time to, and we just say, hey, it's the coach fault. And the coaches sometimes say, hey, it's the athlete fault. And nobody is really taking the time to examine. One
Examine, yes.
thing with me as a coach, and I learned this from my coach, coach role is never, I can never remember a moment when he was wrong and he didn't say, you know what, this was my fault.
Yeah.
This was really my fault. And for me, that always did something for me. Like, my coach is going to say, you know what, I could have done better here. This is my fault. And sometimes as coaches, you have to be honest with the athlete and say, you know what, it was my fault. I should have done this, but I did this, right? And I have to take that responsibility in the way that you performed. That's on me.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, I'm gonna give you a good example. Like, we have a 300-meter indoor track, right? And where we have nationals is a bank 200-meter track.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get the opportunity to take our athletes to run on a bank track before they went to nationals, right? I have athletes who have never run indoor before. So I couldn't be mad at that athlete when they didn't perform the way how I expect them to, the way how they were performing in practice. And he was devastated. And I had to be like, I was like, listen, this is on me. I am taking ownership of how you perform, because I should have allowed you guys to run on a bank track before, because as an athlete, I know the bank track can be very intimidating. I don't care if you're a seasoned athlete or not. Every every year you need to run on a bank track before you go run your biggest race on a bank track if you have never trained on it, run on it before. And I was like, you know what? That is on me.
Okay.
So it's not always, oh, it's the coach's fault. Sometimes that athlete is just going through a phase, right? When I left high school, I never PR'd for 2 years. That didn't stop me from becoming an Olympian. That didn't stop me from accomplishing anything that I did. Sometimes you just need to be patient.
That is true. That is so true. Yeah, and I like the way you put it. It has to be an assessment, because the coach and the athlete, it's a relationship, and the two are walking, so they have to agree in whatever they are doing. So if the coach slip up, the coach have to take the responsibility for that. And if the athlete slip up, and both of them can come and say, all right, coach, I did this, and whoever what's the name of the athlete, you're right, and I should have done it that way. So I believe that yes, it should be a dialogue, communication that is taking place with coach and athlete, rather than playing a blame game. So I definitely like how you put that.
And the thing is too, I listen to my athletes.
Mm-hmm.
After a race, a lot of athletes, especially in high school, they'll
Mm-hmm.
be like, "Oh, that was a horrible race," and they have to say to me, they have to sorry, they have to. I'm not just gonna expect, "Oh, that was a horrible race." No, I'm gonna have a conversation with them, right? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
what about the race was so horrible? And then most of when you ask that question, the race is only a horrible race because they didn't PR, or they did
Yeah.
as they did last week. So now I have to say, okay, but your execution was good, right? You didn't run the time that you wanted to run, but let's focus on the positives, right? You
Mm-hmm.
executed good, you reacted good, your technique was good, and we move forward, right? Like
Yeah.
I had a top athlete came in the middle of the season last year. Big expectations from our country federation. All right. When she came in, they were like, "Yeah, she is fit," and I'm like, "No, she's not.
Mm.
She is not." And they were like, "Oh, we need her to run at this meet and at that meet," and I was like, you know what? Parents on me, people on me, and I was like, you know what? I had to say to them, my priority is this athlete, not you, not the federation. And I'm okay with that. And I had to break it down to the athlete. And good thing, the athlete bought in.
Yeah, yeah.
They were like, you know what, coach? Yes, the expectation is high. I have a high expectation of myself as well. But I'm gonna trust you, buy into it. And I was like, when you get a full off season with me, you're gonna see the difference. And now all I said was, just remember this. Remember what I tell you. And sometimes that's how you have to literally build these athletes up,
Mm-hmm.
and letting them know that, listen, this is a process. It's not a overnight thing. You're not just gonna get fast in 2 years or 3 years.
Or snap
Like,
of a finger.
yes, it is a process.
Yeah, definitely. And I think that's why some of these parents, uh persons who support these athletes sometimes lose the way because, or allow the athletes to lose the way because they want a quick fix right away. Track and field is not a quick fix. It's not like we are going to abracadabra and boom, a magic one and people run fast. No, it's not like that. It takes process, and it also has to do with the mindset, uh the adaptation of the person to the program that they're in, a whole lot of stuff. So
Whole lot.
sometimes people just make up stories that are not really so, and they blame coaches, they blame this, they blame that, when the relationship never collide for whatever to happen. Understand?
Mhm.
So yeah, but Kerron, in terms of coaches or coaching education, do you believe in it, or do you believe that the persons can just have an innate ability and they read a few things and they just go ahead and start coaching? What are your thoughts on that?
Would you want a doctor who just study, he just did 1 year of study and then say, you know what, I'm going to become a doctor? You have disease popping up every year, every second. You Education is important, man. You can't have enough. You can't. People are evolving, things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-mm.
All
I
right.
you owe it to your athletes. When you think about, you have somebody's career in your hands, like
Yep.
this. You got to be serious about this. You really have to.
Yeah, man. I love how you put that again. The athlete's career is in your hand, so you can't just come vicariously like you want to do a little thing. No, you
Mm-mm.
have to enhance your knowledge where the sport is concerned. If there are courses happening, jump onto it, because sometimes you learn something at that one and you learn something different at that one, because like I said, different information is being shared at different location, different places. So it's always good. um this is for persons who are interested in coaching. Try and get some coaching education. All right. um has there ever a time, or is there ever a time that thought came to you that you'd want to go back to Jamaica to coach?
Of course, was definitely. Um, I I don't have a preference on where I go to coach. I I trust God to lead me wherever He wants me to be, and that's how I kind of leave this whole coaching where I go to coach. I'm like, God, I truly trust you to place me where you need me to be and where I can make a difference.
Okay, awesome. Karen, you know, we want you to tell us one a little secret there, if you can,
Mhm.
the US secret. Because over the years, I've been watching track and field, and boy, I mean, I don't know, the Americans seem to have a knack in preparing 400-meter runners and hurdlers too. But me just want to talk about the 400 right now. Is there anything that you saw them doing than in comparison to when you were in Jamaica? Spill some a little secret, make some people can catch a few heights, so we can go back a training and just start, adjust our program for our quarter milers to start run, fast, because trust me, we need to get back there.
My
I
race
want me not put up on the spot.
my race is a half lap and 100 meters. Oh,
But hold on, when you're at Auburn or the other institution, come on, man, you must see something.
There is no magic. It's called work. You put in that work, and training for that 400. It takes something different. Like, you can't not expect to hurt. Like, 400 is pain. 400 is pain, and you have to make up your mind. Like,
Trust me.
that's why I was a sprinter. I was, like, that 400 is no joke. Is really no joke, and you have to have that heart, that gut, that grit for 400. Yeah. that
Yeah,
that
man.
that distribution of energy ain't for everybody.
Yeah, that is true. Lactic ole and them thing there, you know.
But no, there is no secret. Like, a lot
But
of
I think they have a different method, man. Their methodology must be different though.
no,
It's not?
no,
Okay.
no,
Or it's a talent.
it all right. See, for me, it's not. Talent don't mean much to me if you're not
Working hard.
right.
Yeah, okay.
So, but yeah, you probably need a different coach on this. You probably need coach Hart. Um, Michael Johnson. You
Yeah, because I somewhat believe
you probably
that
need those coaches.
yeah man, me just feel say them do something different because their quarter milers just always fast. And like I said, they how they distribute their energy or
Important, man.
is it well even if that is it, they find a way to allow the athletes to evenly distribute their energy right through that 400 meters.
It takes practice. Like, I have some quarter milers. I'm like, your personal best is 22.3, and you're trying to go out in the first 200 in 22. Like, what do you think you're gonna have left to come home with?
No gas.
It takes patience to really run a 400 meters. You know, it do, because for sprinters, we just kill that first 200 because it feels so easy,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because that speed takes over and it feels so easy until that last 200. Then you're wondering, okay, what just happened?
Hit a wall.
Like, feel like you're running with 10 people on your back. But no, it's about training and being smart. Like, I do a lot of 400-meter race prep with my athletes.
Okay.
And sometimes they still mess it up.
You make them know say you put on your spikes or your sneakers one day and give them a race, right? But they know say you still have it.
Yeah, for 2 steps, 5 meters.
All right. One last question on the coaching, Karen, before we take some questions from the audience. What are your thoughts or your long-term or short-term goal in terms of delving into senior coaching if you have not been doing it to date?
I mean, of course I want to coach on the highest level. Of course, I want to coach an Olympian, a gold medalist, a world record holder. You know,
Mm-hmm.
that's the ultimate, you know, um, dream, of course. But outside of that, I want to empower athletes. Like, yeah, I don't want you to just identify with what you do on the track, but you're so much more than just the event that you run. You're so much more than just an athlete.
Okay, okay. And that this answer that you gave segued nicely into this question from our friend from UK, Rich Poe. He said that how important is it for these days for upcoming athletes to be media savvy, friendly, available, or does athletics need to crave the spotlight in general in a competitive market? So like a two question that in a one.
I mean, every athlete should. I don't think you have to be media savvy,
Mm-hmm.
but you should be able to hold a conversation. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
you're not just speaking to people in your country, but you're on a global international platform. So yes, you should be able to handle yourself in front of the media.
Okay. And as you talk about that too, do you think our Jamaican athletes are doing enough in terms of putting themselves out there, marketing themselves so that they can, get deals here and there from different sponsors? Do you think we hide away from the media, especially being that it's social media era? Do you think that we Jamaicans hide from the media? We don't want to put up a part of our training session, whatever. Do you think we are doing enough? Or is it because we are on the island that hinders us from getting some of these big deals?
Oh boy, um, I honestly I don't know.
Okay.
I oh boy, this is tricky because sometimes that's just not their personality. Like I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're in the public eye, every single day, and sometimes you just want to keep some stuff um, private.
Private.
And
Mm-hmm.
it's really like being on social media takes a lot of time, like putting content, creating content, and putting it on social media takes up a lot of time, to be honest. And sometimes some athletes are just not, they're just not taking the time to do it, or they don't want to do it, or they just don't think they need to.
Mm-hmm.
But again, to each his own. But I think if that's the route that you want to go, you have to put yourself out there. And if you don't know exactly how to do it, you get help.
Yeah.
Are there people willing to help these athletes to market themselves?
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Personality, yeah, true.
Mm.
But it is what it is though. Vibing is saying, what is it that you did to avoid negative media rumors? For example, beef with other athletes over your active career.
Beef. I feel like if you have an issue with me, you have a problem because um, I I really just stick to stay to myself. I don't. If I have something to say to an athlete, I say it. I'm not big on any negativity. Like if we compete, you beat me. The race is over. It's done. You are not
Mm-hmm.
in control of how I execute my race. So there is no beef. I have respect for every athlete. I don't put you on a pedestal, but there is respect. Yes, we all trying to win that gold medal. But if it doesn't happen, there is no beef. There is no love lost. There is no respect lost. So yeah,
Okay. All right. So Kieran in on the beef thing, vibing. He has a follow-up question to that. Um,
beef.
you he said that you speak like a person with a lot of spirituality. Are you a born again Christian that is active in the church?
Um, active in the church. I wish I was more active in the church, and this is no excuse. Sometimes we use how busy we are. But yes, I do go to church. I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I am baptized. So Yes, spirituality. I don't know about that, but I know I'm a believer of Christ. I trust Him, but spirituality, yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
People say
Uh,
they're spiritual, but they don't believe in God. So
oh, okay. I see where you're going with that. All right.
Jesus Christ, yeah.
All right. In football, there's a club versus country debate. In track and field, how does Kerron view solo success and country representation?
Both is important to me, and the same effort that I put into representing myself is the same effort I put into representing my country.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
both is important to me. I don't see them as separate.
Um, somebody said Jamaica College looking for a coach, you know.
Jamaica College, okay.
That
Yeah,
one,
love Jamaica.
that one I'm cracking up a little because it said the person that asked the question said to me that they are going to be getting the job. So I don't know what transpired.
Oh boy.
Uh, all right, I'm just searching for questions. Somebody said they think it's genetics that has to do with an environmental disposition that gives them the advantage in the 400 meters. Hmm,
Hey,
interesting.
I'm not a doctor, so I don't know. Hey, listen, you could have all the genetics in the world that you have if you don't go out there and try.
And work hard, yeah.
Yeah, genetics, yes, it plays a part, but it's just like people saying I'm talented, so I don't have to put in the work. Um, yep.
Hard work beat talent any day. O'Shane is saying, has there ever been anything that you call a more experienced coach to help you with or for advice? So he's asking if you have ever called upon an experienced coach to help you with some sort of issue that you might be having, probably
Ev-
not seeing the progress of an athlete.
Every young coach should have a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Every young coach should have a coach that, even if you're not a young coach, they say two eyes better than one because another coach can see something that you don't see. Another coach can say, you know what, I've experienced this before, and maybe if you approach a situation this way, you'll get a different result. So I always say this: when it comes on to coaching and people's career, I don't have an ego. I
Mm.
do not have an ego at all.
Okay.
Like
Okay.
if I'm around some coaches right now, I will be picking their brain
Yeah.
from a sponge. Like I
You know, watch no face.
like as a female coach, like the young men that I coach, yes, they respect me, but sometimes I like have to reach out to some male coaches and say, as a male coach, how do you deal with?
Handle, yeah.
And there are male coaches who reach out to me as a female coach and ask, how do I communicate with my female athletes? And so yeah, you would be crazy not to um, ask for advice from other coaches. Whether you take it or not, it's completely up to you. But
Yeah, yeah.
hearing a different, viewpoint is important. It's crucial.
Yeah, definitely. All right, we have Rocky Hill with a question. This is a question that Rocky Hill wants to answer all along because he has a viewpoint, I have a viewpoint on the matter. See?
Mm.
And he's our American friend. Him Him always a troll win at the comment section. Him always bring some good points too. But he's asking which one is harder, the open 400 meters or the 400-meter hurdles?
I have run both, and the 400-meter was easier to me because I didn't have good hurdle technique.
Mm-hmm.
But the 400-meter was very hard because I was just running and jumping. So it was difficult. I wasn't hurdling. So that was hard. But I have friends who ran the hurdles who are very good at the 400-meter hurdles, and I say it's easy. 400 is hard.
Okay.
So
So it there's a divide between persons in terms of answering that question, because I think the 4 hurdle is a harder event to do than the 400. Some people think otherwise, but
it is. I believe it is because you're running and you're going over an obstacle,
mm-hmm.
not just running free. It's tough. All right, just imagine the 400 is tough in itself, flat race. So
And
just to
then to add hurdles to it.
jump over something like
Exactly. And for the 4 hurdles, I think the same energy system is targeted as if you are doing the 800 meters.
yep.
So it would be like you're doing 2 laps.
Mm-hmm.
So
These
I
are good.
mean, I believe it's harder, Rocky Hill. So if you believe otherwise, I'm not going to try fight your opinion. You understand? But that's why we are human beings. We are diverse. We share different viewpoints. And I bet you can substantiate what your reason is why you think that one is harder. All right. So our next question from Witter Fitness. What are your thoughts on athletes going pro straight out of high school?
I'm not against it. I'm definitely not against it, but I think things should be put in place to support these athletes for sure. But I'm not against it. But I am very much for going to school. But if it was my child who has the opportunity to go pro right out of high school, I would say go. But you're also doing some college classes. Yeah, you're still getting that degree. Nothing is
Yeah.
from from getting that degree. Or even if you don't do it now, we are gonna put aside money to make sure that okay, at the end of your career, if you choose to go to college, there is still money for you to go to school. But it's not a like, oh, you shouldn't go pro right out of high school. If you have the opportunity to and you can, why not? Your lifespan as a track athlete is very short. Like we don't always have colleges. There's
Yeah.
all that opportunity for you to go to school, but there must be a plan.
Yeah, definitely. Candy Cane, why I didn't ask your question, because we spoke about it and Kerron made mention of hard work. It was the 400 training for Jamaica versus US. She answered that question already, Candy. That's the reason I did ask it. Talking about making decision, several persons were not too pleased with one of our one of our best talent, going to the United States to actually, further her track and field career in Brianna Liston.
Why?
Um, you think that was a good move from her? Just give your, well, it has to be your personal view. Give your views on that situation.
Working out for her now, right?
Hmm.
She's running well. She's running well. At the same time, she's getting a degree.
Mm-hmm.
See, and I get it. Like our fans, like they are so passionate, and they love our athletes so much, but we have to give them space to make decisions. Like, it must be their choice, because at the end of the day, it's their life, it's their career, and they have to live it, not us.
Mm.
We have to give them some grace and space to make their own decisions.
And as you're on that topic too, though, Kieran, a lot of the fans also believe that when the athletes do quote unquote hide and seek, it is not good for the sport. Do you have a problem with athletes not opening up their season, especially with this year now, an Olympic year? You kind of see some little dodging here and there. Athletes not really, you know. What your thoughts on that?
How is it dodging? Like, I'm not, your coach. You and your coach have a plan. And if your coach says, "Hey, this is where you're going to open up. This is when you're going to open up," you don't know the training plan that they have. When you think of a Bobby Kersey, he could take his athlete to the meet, warm up, and then he was like, "Nope, I see something you're not gonna run."
Yeah.
Like, allow the coaches to coach, allow the athletes to show up when they think they are ready. And we are so biased because if an athlete show up and they don't perform how we want them to perform,
Mm-hmm.
we bash them and
Yes, man.
on it. So at the end of the day, do what's best for you. Shelly, whenever you're ready to open up, I'll be watching. Elaine, whenever you're ready to open up, I'll be watching. At the end of the day,
Well, we soon ask you about Ilian, you know, because Ilian are going open this weekend, so we soon talk about that.
excited as every Jamaican on this planet, I am excited and I am waiting to see her
Yeah,
open up.
yeah.
Shelly,
All
I'm
right.
waiting just like everybody else when she open up.
By the way, you and some of those athletes are in touch.
I wouldn't say like talk every day, but if we see each other, yes, there is respect.
Okay, okay,
Especially because we pretty much run most of my career like we competed together. So there is a more relationship versus Elaine. She came on the scene when I was exiting, so we
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
really
Okay,
a lot. But I mean, I'm always excited and cheering for those young ladies because now they are, leading the charge, and after them there's another group coming. So I I love to see Jamaicans on the track doing well. So I'm always in support of these young ladies.
okay. Is if Vibin is asking another one. He said if there is a chance to run a race over, which event would that be, and what would you do differently? Hey, that's a one nice question. You know. May I wait for you to answer here?
Uh 2008, definitely I would love to run that 100 meters over again. Um I would just love to run that race over. The first time in Rome when I run 10.75, I would love to run that race over again because I would be among the 10.6 because I believe I could have run way faster. But I mean, again, I didn't know that I was going that fast. I was like, I'm winning. So I'm just concerned with the win right now, not the time. Because the feel that I was able to put away was, I mean, I didn't care about the time. I just wanted to beat the feel. But if I
Yeah.
that fast, I would definitely run through the line.
All right. Big money race up on the line now, Kieran. Big money 4x1. Name the best 4x1 team. Jamaica of all time.
All time.
Yeah, big money up on the line. $1 million up on the line.
Jesus. Oh my God. This tough.
Well,
Honestly,
well, if all right, if you want some more time to think about it, think about it. All right,
it's
or you
tough.
want answer right now?
We're just talking about Jamaicans, right?
Yeah, Jamaicans we're talking about.
No, this tough. I'm definitely on the second leg. Uh,
Yeah.
whoa. All right. I'm on the second leg. Elaine on the third leg. Shelly on
Mm-hmm.
Tanya Lawrence first leg.
All right. So people need to hear that 4x1 there. I can win up the money. Tina Lawrence to Kerron Stewart to Ilian Thompson era to Shelly and Fraser Pride. Drop your comment in the chat room, in the comment section to let us hear your thoughts. What do you think about this big bad team from Kerron Stewart? I think a good team still, though. A bad team.
It's not just about speed.
Mm-hmm.
Just
So
about
everybody would have basically in the position that would be best suited for them. On the leg that is best suited for them. Yeah, I like it. Um, with a fitness, do you think Akeem Bloomfield, Nathan Allen, and some of the other athletes might have needed more guidance in their decision making?
yes. And here, like, and I'm gonna put it to me. I'm not gonna speak of anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes we are too quick to change, and I said that because I was like, I could have been more patient with my coach. Like when I left coach role, I should have been more patient.
Mm,
It wasn't like it couldn't fix, but sometimes because we are like, this is what the expectation is, and also you have that expectation of yourself as well, you're feeling like, you know what, maybe it's time for change. And sometimes changes is needed, but
mm-hmm.
sometimes we just change too quick.
Okay. All right. So again, that wonderful P word is coming out.
But those
We need to be patient.
that you mentioned, I mean, unbelievable talent, but I think they're still young,
But
right? The,
Akeem basically retired now, you know. Him retire.
the thing is too, I always use Gonzalez as
Mm-hmm.
an example. I remember before he broke the Jamaican national 400-meter record. Remember, Gonzalez was like out for like 6 years, not
Yeah.
anything close to his potential, right? And 1 year it was like just non-stop. You couldn't stop him. He was just on a roll.
Yeah, man, I remember that. I was that what?
2010,
2010, yes.
2010. And sometimes because the injury over and over again, right? And that's something that he was facing like just 6 years. You can imagine 6 years of injury. Like, as an athlete, I would reach out to a Gonzalez before I retire. I would have
Mm,
reached out to a Gonzalez, like, how you did it. Like, I remember like when I was coming out, becoming a professional, my coach would always say, talk to other athletes, like, and one athlete he always mentioned was Veronica. But
mm-hmm.
I never did, because I was like, yo, that's my competitor. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not so much about like that person is your competitor, but is the experience. Like,
Experience.
person have been in the sport for how long, doing well consistently for so long. Like, have a conversation with that person, pick their brain. And that's one thing I really loved about Tyson. Like, he would like pick your brain as athlete to athlete. So I would always said to athletes, have a mentor, an athlete who was doing the sport before, not just somebody who is going to listen to you vent about your coach and complain about your coach and then
Mm,
leave your coach, but
yeah.
who is going to be real with you, and somebody who is going to say, you know what, these are the mistakes that I make, and this is how you can navigate this, right? So I mean, if Bloomfield is going to retire, I would like, no, dude. Mm-mm.
Well, it's official now. Well, the only thing him can do is come out of retirement now, no.
It ain't too late.
He never too late. He's what, 27? I think that he could have even
That's career just start. 2027.
yeah.
It just start. Just start.
And
And
it's a phenomenal talent, you know.
unbelievable. But
Jeez.
to whom much is given, much is required. And
And you know him said that in our interview.
mhm, a lot is. You think track
Him
and field is an easy sport?
why?
This
It's
sport,
tough, man. Especially the event where I'm doing, 400 meters. Mm.
400 is not for the weak of heart, man. I always tell people this because some athletes want to go to the greatest coaches out there. And I always tell people this. See, my college coach was the greatest coach for me.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't have to be a Stephen Francis. He didn't have to be a Glenn Mills. He didn't have to be that. He was just the greatest coach for me. Like, I didn't have to say how I was feeling. Like, he got to know me so well that even when I show up at practice and I wasn't in the frame of mind to practice, even though he just know the body language. And sometimes he was like, yes, I have to change that workout because you can't do this workout today. Not to get what I want from this workout, you can't do this workout today. And sometimes you have to find that coach, not necessarily, a Lance, not necessarily a Stephen Francis.
Mm-hmm. Well, may I tell us, me not feel good about the retirement there, but I mean, he's an adult. He makes his decision, so I guess the world will never see the full potential of that phenomenal talent. Somebody asked, go,
A lot of people, even when I retire, a lot of people were saying, hey, why you retire? You're still, and I was like, there is track and field is running is not my purpose. The burden to now take on the mantle of living my purpose was becoming heavy. I couldn't ignore that anymore. I had to say, you know what? I did everything that I could have done in this sport. And now it's time for me to take on purpose.
mm,
And if he feels like, you know what, now it's time for me to walk away from the sport because I'm going to now live purpose, hats off to you. Go do it.
mm-hmm.
But he could retire and a year we see him back in the sport because one thing about this thing, if it's purpose, you can't.
Can't leave it out.
We have nightmares, man.
Yeah, man.
You'll have nightmares. But I know when I retired, I was done. I was finished. I was empty.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That was it.
One of the other questions that came out in the comment section is that how you being an athlete assists you now in being the coach that you are.
A lot. It helps me a lot. Some things are easier for me to communicate. It just helped me, honestly, a lot in the way that I communicate with them, in the way that I interact, in the way that I am patient with them, in the way that I am empathetic with them, um, it just helped. Honestly, it really helps a lot. It allows me to see things that other coaches just wouldn't see. I have lived it. I know what it feels like. So it helped me tremendously, honestly.
Awesome. Somebody's asking if you want the task of reaching out to Akeem. You can get him to get out of retirement quick and fast. Probably for next season, because this season kind of gone. Will you take up that opportunity?
I mean, of course, but I'm not going to put that task on myself to say I'm going to get him out of retirement.
Yeah.
I first want to know what's going on with this young man, because everybody's just thinking about, oh, he shouldn't retire yet. But what about him as a person? What's going
Mm,
on as a person, a human being?
yeah.
How let's start there. Remember, this young man lost his mom.
Yep.
That void will never be filled. Allow him the space. Like, we don't know how this young man is grieving. Like, what is really going on with him?
And what he loves can't help him to get over that. So might as well him just let it go, because she's not even here for to see him do whatever he has to do in this field that he probably love, and his mother probably loved watching him doing it. So
He was probably
that's a twist to it.
he was probably doing this for her. A
Mm-hmm.
do things for our loved ones, not because we necessarily love it. So, I mean, there's so much questions that first need to be answered before we just say, hey, get him out of retirement. No, let's first be conscious of what's going on with this young man first. Like, do you love this anymore? Are you still passionate about it? Whether you have the talent or not, if you don't love it, if you're not passionate about it, he is probably more passionate about something else. We need not just athletes in this world. We need, if we need doctors, we need lawyers, we need those people too. So if it's not track, it's not track. But if you have unfinished business with track and field, don't let it go yet. But if
Yeah.
finish, respect that. No love lost. Still love you, Bloomfield. I would love to see you out there on the track though.
Yeah. All right. T good looking. I think Kerron answered this question, but for the persons who came late, let me throw out the question again. What do you think the coach should do differently about the 4x1 relay in terms of setting up runners and changing a baton?
Um, First we got to prepare. Have when they actually have a camp set aside, and this is another thing. Like, if I'm at the camp and we're gonna do baton pass, right? Let the coaches know and the athletes know that Monday we're gonna do baton pass. All right. So now I have no excuse not to show up for relay practice, right? Because I get the heads up that Monday is gonna be baton pass. So now that gives my coach a chance to change the workout. So now we can't go to baton practice and say, oh, I can only go 50% because I have a heavy workout after this. No. So have more camps,
Mm,
way to get the athletes to run more together. I mean, I know it's we're not going to get our best athletes at every meet. Not every athlete is going to go to pen relays. Not every athlete is going to go to world relays. And again, some of the athletes have no interest in going to world relays or pen relays because they know it's the same issue, right? They're like, I'm not wasting my time to miss practice to go to pen relay knowing that I might not run, or some drama. is gonna happen, I might as well just stay home and focus. But we have to run more together. I
Mm-hmm.
We have to set aside time to actually practice relays when we go to the camps, and I think that that will be a step in the right direction.
All
And
right.
be fair, honest. Athletes be fair as well and be honest.
Yeah. All right. Rich Pooh have one intriguing question, you know. That's our English friend, you know. You see that brother, let me tell you about him, Kerron. Him not really decide if him a Jamaican or him a British or he's an American. Him kind of confused in terms of him support. You understand? But him always have he's a question boss. You understand? Him full of questions. So this question that he has now is, do you believe in destiny? Because when athletes pray, whose prayer gets answered? Or is it simply hard work and big race mentality that carries the day?
Whether you pray or not, God know who is going to win. I think that the the best person on that day wins. I don't think God answer your prayer and don't answer my prayer. I think the best person on that day wins. If you win that day, you're not necessarily the best person. You're just the best person on that day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that's how I can answer that, sir.
All right. So, Rich Boy, I hope you're satisfied with that answer. You know? All right, Kerron. Ilian Thompson here open our season this Saturday, and she's going to be opening over there in Eugene at the Prefontaine.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a big field. You have Shakir Richardson, the world champion. You have um, Marie Jose Talou Smith.
Mm-hmm.
You have Dina Asha Smith. You have Twanisha Terry. You have Melissa Jefferson. You have who else? Daryl Nita. A plethora of stars in that lineup.
Hot.
Hot, hot,
Oof.
blazing. And before, let me put it into perspective. I've never seen Ilian open her season in a hot race like that. You know. And you
Mm.
know she's with a new coach now. What do you think that they are trying to accomplish by going to Eugene running against these people?
It's just a race.
It's
It's
just okay.
another race.
Elaborate.
It is. Her Elaine's main focus is going to be the Jamaica trials.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and I know her coach is not going to put her in that race unless he knows she is ready. And if she's going to be in that lineup, she's ready.
All right. So should we expect fireworks from Ilian in this one?
It's Elaine. Every time she lines up, we expect fireworks because we forget that she's human. So we always want 10-5 every time she touched the track. We everybody want world record every time she touches the track. But um, we expect it to be fast. I mean, especially with that feel. But
Mm-hmm.
more so for me, I'm looking more to see how she competes. I mean, because that's her first race.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we are almost at the end of May, but it doesn't matter. She just need to be in the top three at the Jamaica trials. So she doesn't have to win in Oregon.
But Dr. J.D. Smith has said, call it. Call it, Kerron, call it. Who you think I gonna win the race there?
I want to see a good race. That's what I want to see is a good race. I mean, I want to see how she execute. what our technique look like, if there's any changes.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the stuff that I am looking for. But of course, not to be biased, I want to see her ahead of everybody. But
Definitely.
if that doesn't happen, I mean, we have the trials, which is the most important thing. Is for her to be in that top three.
So even if she doesn't win at Eugene, you basically will be looking at how she goes about
Mm-hmm.
um her drive phase into the her maintenance phase and all of that, her technique, like I say, if it is anything different
Yeah,
from what it was. Is it cleaner? Because you know Alien clean already, you know.
yeah, man. Not she not waste no energy. No, no energy.
Elaine is very efficient, yeah man. She not give her no ounce of energy in the 100 meters.
Mhm. Rocking nothing. Mm-mm,
Nothing.
mm-mm. But listen, our coach probably just want to say, let me see how our first 60-meter look.
Mm-hmm.
Don't care about anything else. Let's see how the first 60 meters look. Because again, as I said, trials. That's the focus.
Okay. All right. Another thing is that a few people believe that the big three, and you know the big three, Shelly, Elena, Jacko, Sherika, right?
Mhm.
Many people believe that the big three would be safe at trials. But then there are a set of people who believe that the big three balloon are gonna burst. Because you have Alana, you have the twins, you have you have Brianna, you, you have Lani, Kevin, a slew of young, talented girls coming up.
Youth and experience.
You feel say them anybody can break a big tree?
Anybody make the finals have a chance. 2008, I sure not a lot of persons was anticipating that outcome.
Mm.
But hey, everybody are training now.
Hey, when Veronica come forth, no, and a big thing about it, you know.
Everybody is training. Everybody is training. But for Shelly, Elaine, and Sharika, they've been there before.
Mm-hmm.
They know what it takes. So it's for the younger athletes to just go out there, go out there and do your thing.
Okay,
There and do.
okay. On the men's side of things,
Only God know the outcome, So we all have to wait, just like everybody else.
but you know, say well as analysts and coaches, we try to because you see some of the same thing the way you say about Elaine, what you expect to see her do at Eugene. There are some of the things that I spoke about in a video that I published, you know. So coaches probably look upon it differently, but the fans, you know, the fan base, the fans always want to see some exuberant thing, some stupendous performance. That's why the fans not like the hide and seek thing sometimes, which we know that the coaches know best. They're gonna put out their athlete when they're ready. And like I said, because Ileana go out now, that means that yo, she ready. You understand? So there's always differences where fans are concerned. Them just want to see. Because remember, sports is entertainment for the fans, you know, Kerron. And when them just say Kerron on the track and them know say Kerron, them love when Kerron run. You know, it kind of disheartening to the fans. But then again, you have been using this word for since the conversation, patience. And I'm just gonna tell the fans, just be a little bit patient. But Kieran, on the men's side of things, we have not had a pretty much standout or outstanding person. I think Oblique Civil is the closest to that right now. How do you see our male sprinting evolving in this Olympic year?
I'm not gonna lie, I feel the pressure for those guys. Because people are expecting them to fill a Usain and a Safa. You know what kind of shoes that those to fill? Those are some enormous shoes to fill. But I think we can be a little bit more patient with the guys. I mean, it's coming. It's coming. I know we're impatient with them, but it's coming. Because I mean, Oblique is still a young guy. He's learning, and I don't know anything about Coach Mills, which I love because I am the same way. I I I don't really the athlete is priority. I'm not going to rush the athlete to please the
The
fan,
fans.
right? I am thinking about this athlete holistically, and I'm not rushing them. I'm developing them properly so they can last and they can stand the test of time. So Oblique will be fine. Coach Mills is going to make sure that he developed this young man the right way. If we learn anything from what he did with Usain, be patient. And it's not just Oblique. There are some talents that are coming up. I don't know the name of this young man that anchor the 4x1. I mean, just give them time. They're coming. They're coming. We need to just give them time. Remember, there is a period. Remember before 2008, like I remember 2007 when I went to the World Championships in Osaka. I heard the national anthem of Jamaica once. Once. 2008, fast forward to 2008, I heard my national anthem so many times. So we need to be patient. Remember,
Well,
it's a process. Allow these athletes to develop. And I don't know why all of these people have so much of a big say in the development of our athletes. Like we are not helping them, right? These athletes have bills. They have so much things that they have to do on their own without support. Hey, be patient. Wait. It's
but
coming.
but Kerron, uno spoil the fans, them, you know.
I did spoil.
You get stick up this now, you know.
No, I
Uno
didn't.
spoil the fans, them, you know.
Hey, remember before we came, there was a process. There was investment.
Yeah.
There was
But
in
that uno a run fast and them thing the week in, week out and I win out the medal and the people them just get craven.
yeah, but make that investment. You see, the group of athletes like the Usain, Malayan, myself, Sharon, that Shelly, that group, there was investment. Like we used to have regular training camp at GC Foster where have an opportunity to train because normally after champs there is no consistency with training.
Yes.
There was consistency. We had good coaching, right, throughout that time up until we leave for college. So there has to be investment. Don't expect a return if you're not investing, right? Um, Jamaica, the fans saying, "Oh, the athlete's not doing this and the athlete's not doing that." J3 really don't have any money, right? And we are saying, "Hey, J3 need to support the athletes." How about corporate come in and help, right? Because when Jamaica is shining, it's not just the athletes, but Jamaica is benefiting. So there needs to be investment. We needs to be support.
Yeah, that is true. Alright, so fans will have to be more patient. Take it from the great Olympian and world championship medalist. Kerron, there is this contract that is running out with the J3s, with Puma, right? And
Oh boy.
Adidas make a pitch based on what you see in that pitch that Adidas made. Do you think it's a good deal for Jamaica?
I have not seen the deal.
You know see it?
No,
Oh my God.
I have not. I heard it's good, but I haven't. Plus, I don't know what kind of deal Jamaica had with Puma.
With Puma, right?
I don't know which one is better, but I would say do what's best. What is best for the athletes and the country.
But it sounds like the Adidas is going to be athlete centric and developmental centric.
I'm all for that. I am all for that.
So, with you being all for that, you think J3 would take that deal? Because me and Glenn Mills are coming and I say, yo, no can't make that deal pass, because it's a big deal, you know. And we don't talk KFC.
Hey, if that deal is the better deal, why not? Because at the end of the day, this is a business, right?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, the athlete that you mentioned earlier that anchored, his name is Sanjay Davison, and he's actually going to be in Eugene as well. A touchdown on the Diamond League circuit. I think this is his debut on the Diamond League circuit.
I saw him. I think I watched him in high school. He ran
St. Catherine.
there's something there.
So you spot the talent from them days there.
Yeah, man. There's something there.
Okay.
But again, some athletes are just working to their talent level and not their potential.
The potential. And he recently made a switch from elite performance to dynamics truck, you know.
See, I don't even know who is the coach at Dynamics.
All right, dynamics is what's our friend name again? Michael Frater. And
he is with Michael Frater now?
Yes, and he was with Journalist before, which is Ronaldo Walcott.
Okay.
So that is the situation for him right now. And he PB'd since he went to Dynamics.
Hey, go where it's working for you.
Okay.
Because coaches, their lifespan is very long. An
athlete is short, yeah.
So
interesting. All right, so this is another thing that is discussed heavily in this space as well. Kerron Basil Thompson, he's saying that what are your thoughts on athletes speaking patois in their interviews on an international platform?
you point out the key word. You say international. I have nothing is wrong with speaking patois, but the world should be able to understand what you're saying. Because if a young man in South Africa is you're inspiring him, he should be able to understand what you're saying. So nothing wrong with talking patois.
But the international language should be English.
Yep, we all speak English.
Yeah. But what if they are speaking in that interview and they can swing between the patois and the English? That would be fine, right? According to you.
Yes. Why not?
Okay.
But again, I think people have an issue with that person you sound like American, or then why you sound like Jamaican. And I've had people ask do they speak English in Jamaica? And I'm like, yes, I'm speaking English. I just have an accent. But
Yeah. Yeah, because I think they spoke about Brianna too when that's Liston,
mhm.
when she was being interviewed and she kind of, you'd call it, adopt the American accent for the persons to, well, I am assuming that it is for the persons to understand them, understand her. She got, I think, backlash from some sectors.
She's not doing a private interview with another Jamaican, and it's not going to be seen nationwide or on an international level.
Mm-hmm.
What is wrong with somebody's interviewing you who don't speak patois? Why would you try to speak patois to the person? They understand English, speak English.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But they were more so talking about her.
The word for us to worry about.
Huh?
I said there are more things in the world for us to worry.
Exactly. People, any more questions? I don't want to keep Kerron no more than 4 minutes now. The show has been going on. Wonderful interview. Well, this is a sit down. This is no interview. We just a vibe. You
Conversation.
understand? I think it's more of a vibe than interview. Interview sound formal, and this space is a safe and calm space where people can express themselves. So, um, yeah. Any more questions, people? We're not having Shelly interview. Shelly
Yeah,
interview coming up, man. Don't worry yourself. The people don't pressure me for that one, then I care. I tell you.
they should.
We soon get Shelly, man. Shelly in our zone right now for preparing. So we not carrying no athletes on that are basically in their zone in preparation. This probably could be a distraction. As simple as we might take it. So I could leave it there. So any more questions? Is there a difference between part one tongue? We don't want to go back in other part.
Goodness.
We finished that part. Any more question in relation to coaching, athletics, where we can ask Karen? Was the American? Let me just almost talk crap. Was the 100-meter world record ever on your mind, and do you think that this record is attainable? Women's 100 meters record.
I think based on what we have seen Elaine do and Shelley, yeah, it's definitely attainable because 54:49, that's just decent headwind, 1.9 tailwind.
Mm,
Yep, it's gone.
it's gone.
It's gone. But yes, I think it's definitely attainable for sure, for sure. I didn't think too much about the world record. I was running 10.7. 10.4 is it gonna take more than a 1.9 tailwind. Um, but yeah, no, I can leave that up to Elaine and Shelly and Shakari and the rest to think about and focus on. But definitely, I think it's attainable.
Yeah, and one last question before we get out of here. 21-4, 21-4, 21-4, just outside the world record as well. Question to you: do you believe that she needed help from the wind, a good wind reading, or she needed a field that can push her to get that record?
All of the above.
Awesome, awesome. So quick and fast. Me say one more question, jump out. Do you think our men 4x4 team can qualify?
Yes. Yes, for sure. They can. I think we have the guys. I mean, nobody has done anything serious yet,
Mm-hmm.
but I know come trials they'll show up. But of course, we have guys to qualify. There's no reason we shouldn't qualify for the Olympics in 4x4. No reason.
All right, cool. Um, this person, I think, puts it very well. It's not a question. Just want to say thank you for your years of service. You definitely did us proud, and we appreciate you.
Thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah, man. And oftentimes, and that's why I will say it again, I said it before, that these platforms are very important where athletes like yourself, former athletes, current athletes can come on and, interact with the fans and talk to the fans. Just to vibe basically with the fans, because sometimes the fans before these media were basically supporting you from a distance, and for you to come on here, Kerron, and have a conversation with us, we appreciate it. We really, really appreciate it. We appreciate you for what you have done, and we just wish you all the best in your coaching destiny. And we do believe that from what you have said, and I have listened keenly, that you are going to do very well in this field of this professional field.
Thank you.
So, any final words that you want to share to the fans or to anyone out there before you go?
Uh, I mean, I know I'm no longer competing, but I can still feel the love and support. Is like I retire, but the support never stops, and I
Mm-hmm.
do appreciate every support. Every person who cheered, prayed, supported, loved me. I do appreciate it. I mean, I might not know your name, we might never meet, but I do appreciate it.
All right. Respect and manners, Kerron. Enough love. Basil, I don't avoid the discussion. Kerron said she had more important things to discuss. I want to know, so when me attack my video, then me put in my patwa. So you can't say me avoid it. Don't bother with that, Basil. You understand? Big up yourself. So Kerron, yeah, thanks very much. I hope that you'll enjoy the rest of your evening, and continue to inspire the youths as you continue to delve into coaching deeper and deeper. And I'm looking forward to see you unearth an Olympic talent. Yeah, understand?
Yeah, in the making. Coach Glenn Mills, he coached a lot of Olympians, but I believe he took 30 years before he coached somebody who won an Olympic gold medal.
Yes.
Not just an Olympic gold medal, but world records. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, man. All right. Big up yourself, Kerron. And we'll see you in the next one. Probably we can invite you on when the Olympics start to give you your take on something. But we'll talk. All right?
Appreciate
All
it.
right.
Yeah. Have a good
Yeah,
one.
man. Have a good one. Cool. All right, people. So there you have it. A wonderful discussion here with Kerron Stewart. Trust me. I like the vibe. So, but Basil, balance your little self. You understand? Shem, go on, Shem, big up yourself. Pristine, big up yourself. Sherry Brown, big up yourself. Vibing, big up yourself. Crossroad, half a tree, down a town, big up yourself. You understand? Mike C, what go on? Big up yourself, Mike C. Hey, Mike C, you have a problem, man, you know. Boy, you gotta pay $100 if she come on before Olympics. And we don't say she now come on before Olympics. Oh, you can't get trouble, so Mike C. Jesus, please, Mike C. Anyways, people, we did it. Part 2. I think it was good. And definitely, we are going to try as best as possible to get some more, people on this platform to, interact and share their journey. And this is one of the thrusts of the coach's desk. You understand? So we are going to continue to do it. Big up the supporters them. On your way out, make sure you like the video. Share it to a friend. You understand? Tell a friend to tell a friend about us. Jupiter Saturn, what go on? You say me call you out false, the Jupiter Saturn. Big up yourself, All the ladies in the comment section. Big up on yourself. Big up on yourself. Yeah, man. Me I read in the comment. Me I watch what go on. All the ladies who comment on the videos them. Big up on yourself. You get what I say? Until next time, people. Stay safe. Peace out.
Your style and your flavor make the city rock. They must say the season come out with a bang. Coach Minzy, best round here. Remember that.